What's up, squad? It's your Squid, aka the Anxious Squid, here at Anxious Squid Productions. If this is the first time you've stumbled across my channel, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, and I can't do it without people like you who randomly stumble across my content and decide they like me. These guys are my patrons. If you want to go the extra mile and support the channel that way, please feel free to do so. They're all awesome. You could be awesome too. I'm going to be, full disclosure, I'm going to be as transparent as possible. I'm trying to get as many clicks as I can before the end of this month. It's currently the 29th of July. This right here is my watch minutes from the history of the channel, and that big spike that you see in May was from when I did a multi-part video on the Petty family and a multi-part video on Dale Earnhardt. So I figured, what gets the views? Multi-part NASCAR videos. So here we are doing 3 before February. I'm hoping not to get sad. People tell me it's a very sad documentary because it's about 3 people dying, in the sport. But we'll do it together. I'm going to try and get it done in 5 parts. You'll be able to tell already from the thumbnail and the title of the video how many parts I get it done in. But yeah, strap in for the ride. I hope you guys watch it with me, and I can turn your 1 view into 5 views and manipulate my stats a little. But yeah, let's just get into it, shall we? Thanks for clicking on the title and the thumbnail of this video, guys. Hopefully we don't get too sad. If we do, we'll get sad together. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
The 9th Chevy win in 26 events. Joe Nemechek is a first-time winner in NASCAR Cup racing.
That'll be Joe Hunter Nemechek's dad or whatever.
Joe Nemechek finally scored his first Cup Series victory. The win came at New Hampshire, the track that saw Joe make his first start in the series, a full 6 years and 179 starts earlier.
Wow.
He also won a Busch Series race there, beating none other than Dale Earnhardt. Others still struggled at the track. Earlier in the '99 season, a Missouri driver qualified a strong 4th, only to lose the engine and finish 43rd. It was the first last-place finish of Tony Roper's career. Joe's win came driving for team owner Felix Sabates, whose flagship number 42 hadn't visited Victory Lane in more than 4 years. Kyle Petty was his driver that day, and though the 3rd-generation Petty would never win again, the promise of a 4th, his 19-year-old son Adam, was already coming to fruition. 6 days after Joe's win, Adam Petty led 23 laps at Dover, the first of his own Busch Series career. But the win also came less than a month after Joe was released from his contract with Savco Racing. One of the driver's parting gifts from Sabates was the car he drove to Victory Lane. This was certainly to the dismay of his replacement, who was so anxious to start driving the number 42 that he hoped to leave his old ride before season's end. But Sabates told Kenny Irwin Jr. to wait. After all, the 2000 season was just around the corner. But most significantly, Joe's win came 2 years after the death of his brother John Nemechek, who in 1997 died from injuries sustained in a crash during the closing laps of a Truck Series race at Olmsted. Less than 3 months after that dark day, Joe's newborn son John Hunter would carry on his name.
And he's now in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Joe, as you cross the stripe, I love you. It must have been some solace then that as of that September day, John had been the last NASCAR driver to die in a race car.
3 before February. This looks like it's well made as well. Starting to get tingles, you know what I mean, already. Written, produced, and narrated by Brock Beard. Hopefully it doesn't get flagged. Hopefully they don't all get blocked, but we'll see.
The 1990s were a golden age for NASCAR. Increased national exposure brought with it more corporate sponsors eager to get their brands on a car. With that came a rise in teams, and with that, more opportunities for drivers to compete on a national level.
Snowballing.
In 1999, the Brickyard 400 still drew 55 entries for 43 spots. The Busch Series race at Las Vegas pulled 53. Among these drivers were Adam Petty, Kenny Irwin Jr., and Tony Roper. Adam Petty may truly have been the first 4th-generation athlete in professional sports. The Randleman, North Carolina driver was born into racing royalty. He was the great-grandson of Lee Petty, 3 times a Cup champion with 54 wins. He was the grandson of the King, Richard Petty, with 200 wins, 7 championships, and legions of
If you like the Petty family and you're new to my channel, I have as I mentioned earlier, a multi-parter from midway through May, reacting to the documentary Petty Blue. You should check that out. It's in my Motorsport playlist.
And he was the son of Kyle Petty, whose 8 wins all came driving for teams other than Petty Enterprises. Father and son were extremely close. Adam proudly called Kyle his best friend. When Adam Petty was 8, Kenny Irwin Jr. was playing varsity soccer in high school, but he had already been running quarter midget since he was 6. As a teenager, he got a taste for racing in NCCA and IMSA. His father, Kenny Sr., fielded his team in the American Challenge Series, where he ran American-built production cars on road courses. But it was in USAC open-wheel competition that Irwin truly stood out. He scored 8 wins in midgets in the 1996 championship. Another 7 wins came in sprint cars, where he was 1993's Rookie of the Year. And in '95, he was the top rookie in the Silver Crown Series, finished second in points, and took another 4 wins. By then, some were already calling this driver from Indianapolis the next Jeff Gordon.
All right, that's high praise.
Tony Roper was born into a racing family. He was the son of Dean Roper, who in 1983 qualified for his first Daytona 500 and finished 15th. 2 years later, and already 46 years old, Dean won an ARCA race at the Springfield Dirt Track, his first of 6 victories in the series.
Okay.
The last of these came in 1994, when Dean was 55. In nearly all his starts, Dean drove for the Mueller brothers, a Wisconsin-based team whose number 89...
This is a big info dump, and I'm going to do my best to retain the information about all 3 drivers and stuff, but yeah.
became one of NASCAR's most
big info dump.
part-time teams. Some of their drivers were Rodney Combs and Jim Sauter. Dean and the Muellers were still racing when Tony began to drive in 1986. He started in go-karts, then branched out into dirt racing in IMCA modifieds and late models. When his local tracks in Lebanon and Bolivar were paved, he made the transition seamlessly.
Nice.
This led him to compete in the American Speed Association, which visited his home track, the I-70 Speedway. Located 150 miles north of the family home in Fair Grove, it was at this track on June 28, 1992, that Roper
I thought Pontiac was a type of Chevrolet. I'm a fucking idiot.
finished 4th, the best finish of his rookie season. After 5 years in ASA, Tony Roper and his wife Michelle moved to North Carolina. He just earned a full-time ride in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, driving for ARCA veteran Bob Brevac in 1997. On June 6th of 97, Roper finished 20th in the Truck Series race at Texas, a race won by Kenny Irwin Jr. Irwin's success in USAC had earned him a ride with Jim Herrick, and the Union had already yielded another win, the same tragic Homestead race that claimed the life of John Nemechek. By now, Irwin's success had caught the eye of Robert Yates as a possible replacement for Ernie Irvin. That possibility became a reality on August 1st. In an announcement at Irwin's home track at Indy, the 27-year-old would bypass the Busch Series and drive one of the most
straight into the Cup
cars
Series
in the field.
All right.
Number 28, Texaco Haviland Ford.
All right.
1 month later, on September 6th, Irwin made his first Cup start. He'd drive a car fielded by Blair Motorsports, a team that had struggled for sponsorship all year. With the Yates engine under the hood, Irwin qualified on the outside pole. He led 12 laps and came home in 8th.
It was a good night. Robert Yates and David Blair gave me a great car tonight. We led a few laps. I'm real happy, except for how I did the pit stop.
Suddenly getting 9 million messages, and it's like my phone. It should be on Do Not Disturb mode, but for some reason it is not. And I'm trying to make it not vibrate, but who knows? I'll just put it on the floor. Hopefully it won't make as much noise.
But that's what you're here for, to learn and to race.
That's right. We got 5 races to this year, and try to get ready for Daytona and get all the mistakes out of the way right now, so we can go to Daytona.
At the end of the 97 season, Irwin finished 10th in Truck Series points to Roper's 18th. In 1998, it was finally time for Adam Petty to take the wheel.
Yep.
Like Roper, he started out in ASA, driving a radical new paint scheme sponsored by Spree prepaid phone cards.
That's cool.
He drove number 45, the next car in line after Lee's number 42,
That's
Richard's
cool.
number 43, and Kyle's current number 44 in Winston Cup. On June 27th at the Roper family's home track, the I-70 Speedway, Adam was making just his 10th series start. In the mirror of number 45 was a rookie from California named Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, wow.
There is your leader, 17 years old, just graduated from high school. He's not mowing lawns this summer, folks. He is winning his first ASA race off of turn number 4. Adam Petty keeps it pointed straight, he will win the Kansas City Excitement 300.
Good stuff.
Adam, come on over here. What's it feel like to win the big one, man? It's like the World Series. This is awesome. I'll tell you what, these guys had some bad luck early in the race and got 2 laps down and made that back up with great pit stops. I'll tell you what, thank you, good Lord, for Dick, man. I'll tell you what, he was really awesome.
That's awesome.
And thanks for free and all they've done for me. I'll tell you what, I'm shaking. I don't know what to say. This is awesome. You gonna call your dad on spree? I'm getting ready to call my mom. I'm a spree going, that's right.
In 1979, Father Kyle won in his first ever ARCA start at Daytona, and on September 30th at Charlotte, Adam followed suit.
That's dope.
Final quarter, here he comes, Wallace with a last turn charge up to the outside. Final turn to the stripe. Here onto it, Adam Petty will win the Easy Care 100 at Charlotte. 18 years old.
That's awesome.
Wow, and we got a Coca-Cola bath down here in a big way. Adam, there's a dad jumping in, Kyle. Proud father.
That's dope. What a moment, huh?
Grandfather, great-grandfather, father, now you. Can you describe this moment? I'll tell you what, this means more to me than anything. You know, I lost my crew chief.
That's dope.
Patty coming in. I lost my crew chief a couple weeks ago, and it's been a rough couple weeks, but I'll tell you what, good Lord.
Coke all over the camera. All over the camera.
It's my dream. It's been my dream since a little kid to come here and race. Come to anywhere and race where my dad's raced before and proved himself. I'll tell you what, I feel like crying. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's mad.
On October 17th, Adam finished 27th in his first ever start in the Busch Series, this time driving for Tad Geschickter. In that same 98 season, Roper parted ways with Bob Brevak in June, then took the controls of the number 55 Icehouse Ford fielded by racing legends Tom Gloy and Bobby Rahal. On July 30th, in just his 6th start with the team, Roper finished a career-best second, following Jack Sprague to the finish line at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Career bests tonight for Tony Roper and Lonnie Rush. My congratulations from Roper, who said, man, I feel like I won this baby. I'm second. I'm just as proud as I can be. Tom Gloy has a very good driver in Tony Roper.
The next day was the Brickyard 400, where Irwin was one to watch in his first start at his home track. Earlier that season, he'd enjoyed the best run of his career at Atlanta, leading 113 laps and finishing 5th. But he'd fallen to just 25th in points heading to Indy, failing to finish 3 times and even missing the show at the Coca-Cola 600. Oh, wow. He qualified a strong 4th for his first Brickyard 400 and was running 5th near the end when it all came undone.
See the 5 car going in the corner. Here comes the 28 car. And
oh, lost it and straight into the wall.
Earnhardt got so close to him, we talked about earlier in the race that he took that air off the rear spoiler, and around goes the Texaco.
Though Irwin won his first pole in the return to Atlanta that November, and again took Rookie of the Year honors, he finished no better than 10th the rest of the year, and failed to finish 4 more times.
That's rough.
While such struggles were once expected of rookies, Jeff Gordon's near-instant success had already changed the paradigm, and so the pressure was already on the next Jeff Gordon to step it up in 1999. It was in 99 that Tony Roper joined Adam Petty in the Busch Series, this time driving for Steve Coulter's new team, Express Motorsports.
Far out, it's just going all over the place.
On the team and was offered the opportunity to run a handful of races. When co-driver Derek...
That's sort of how it works, though, isn't it? Like, you're just trying to get your ride wherever you are in the Cup Series.
However, Roper took over the bulk of the schedule, starting with the spring race at Darlington. In his 20 attempts, Roper failed to qualify 4 times and failed to finish another 6.
Yeah, I'm all right. I think we had a little contact with the car on the first lap there going in the first corner, and must have cut the left rear tire down because I went into going on the second lap and it just come around on me. Thought I built it as I went in the corner, but with everybody else behind me, I was just a pinball.
Oh, that's rough.
Tony Roper will race another day.
Oh, it was just a pinball.
Track experience was paying dividends. His best runs were an 8th at South Boston and a 10th at Bristol.
All right.
Adam Petty faced similar struggles, driving cars fielded under Kyle Petty's PE2 team and prepared in the Richard Petty driving school shop near the Charlotte Motor Speedway. After a 6th place showing at Daytona, Petty failed to qualify the next week at Rockingham, his first of 3 DNQs. He also failed to finish 12 races, 9 due to accidents, and none were more brutal than this one at Dover.
Oh, he's gone sideways, up into the wall, hard. Oh, he's going to get collected. Fuck.
while you've had a chance to talk to Adam. How's he doing?
Pretty good. He's pretty shook up. Anytime you hit a Dover, you hit hard. His ribs are sore, and he's complaining a little bit of his ribs and a little bit of his hip on the right side and his elbows. But you know, he's so close and he's so skinny and all that stuff. He ran a great race. He did really, really good from the beginning of the race. I hated that it ended like this, and you know, that's why we got to get him out of the Busch Series, because when you race with Busch drivers like that, sometimes that's why they're in the Busch League, because they end up with people like that.
Okay, so you're gonna go get him, or are you gonna go with him?
I'm gonna go after practice. You know what I mean? To see how he's doing and how he's feeling. But you know, he's good enough right now. His mother went with him, and she's doing good. So we'll just go from there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's really good. I keep looking down at the timer, by the way, so I can get it in the right amount of parts across this. But how's the shade thrown out by Kyle Petty just there? Like, yeah, that's we got to get him out of this competition, because these drivers suck. He needs to be up in the big leagues. That's effectively what he said, you know.
A silver lining. Adam finished 4th at Fontana, 5th at Nazareth, and 5th again at Memphis. All this occurred during the 50th anniversary of Petty Enterprises, a season-long celebration which saw both its Cup and Truck teams sweep both wins at Martinsville in April.
Nice.
Unbeknownst to anyone, neither team would ever win again.
Rough.
In June, Adam Petty revealed his team was putting together a Cup car and planned to run 5 races in the year 2000, depending on how the '99 season went. It went well enough, as this was confirmed in November.
Nice.
The schedule was tentatively set to start in Texas, followed by the Coca-Cola 600 in May, the Bristol Night Race in August, Martinsville, and Homestead.
Nice.
Although Rookie of the Year candidates could run up to 7 races prior to their first full season, the team wavered on the possibility of adding another 2 races. This only fueled rumors of a full-time Cup season in 2001.
Yeah, fair enough too. He's good enough, right?
Committed to his second full-time season in the Busch Series, driving a new red and black scheme on his number 45. For Irwin, however, 1999 was a season to forget. The lone highlight was in his second Daytona 500, where he finished a strong 3rd behind Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, well, you don't mind finishing behind those two.
As he bumped teammate the lone
like, if you're going to finish 3rd to 2 of the greatest ever to do it, then
highlight was in his second Daytona 500, where he finished a strong 3rd behind Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt. But even this was shrouded in controversy, as he bumped teammate Dale Jarrett in turn 3, triggering a massive pileup.
Unfortunate.
He made all the races, won another 2 poles, and finished 5th at Richmond, but left the season just 19th in points.
Right.
As early as June, it was rumored Irwin would part ways with Yates. It was confirmed on August 11th, just after his second Brickyard 400. 10 days later came news of Joe Nemechek's release from Team Sabco. By the time of the November announcement, it had been all but confirmed that Irwin would replace him. As part of Irwin's deal with Sabco, he would run a partial 16-race schedule in the NASCAR Busch Series, driving a reversed version of his Cup Series paint scheme. One of his competitors would be Tony Roper, who had also moved on over the offseason. Roper would drive full-time for 3rd-year Busch team Washington Irving Motorsports, named for its 2 famous team owners, retired NFL star Joe Washington and NBA Hall of Famer Julius Irving. Roper took the place
2 different sports, and they come together and buy a thing.
Scored a single top 10 finish in Atlanta, driving the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet.
We'll go back, because I missed that because of the timer and
race schedule in the
me
NASCAR
talking.
Busch Series, driving a reversed version of his Cup Series paint scheme. One of his competitors would be Tony Roper, who had also moved on over the offseason. Roper would drive full-time for 3rd-year Busch team Washington Irving Motorsports, named for its 2 famous team owners, retired NFL star Joe Washington
Let's
and
buy
NBA
a NASCAR license.
Irving. Roper took the place of Mark Green, who in 1999 scored a single top 10 finish in Atlanta, driving the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet.
Okay, we're going to pause it there. That's going to be part 1. So, as I said at the start of the video, I'm going to try and get to 5 parts. I'm going to try and do 5 parts, and we'll see how we go. You know, it looks like 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to have to make the next one a little bit longer. Through this video, it's an hour and 24 minutes. So hopefully you'll join me for part 2. It'll be uploaded really quickly after this, so sit tight, hit the notification bell, and you'll get it when it comes up. These guys are my patrons. They make all this stuff sort of possible. Please consider becoming a patron as well. I'm an American immigrant. I can't work till my green card gets approved. No green cards are getting approved at the moment because of the C word that's happening in 2020. And yeah, it is sort of just everything's up in the air, you know. And so money's cool. Money's important to survive. And I would like some of your money to become my money. click the link in my description and you'll go be a patron of mine. That'd be dope. Thank you very much. Let's get straight on to part 2, shall we? I'll see you when I look at you. You'll see me when you look at me. Thanks for watching.